it.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here with Jeremy Farber, owner of Homestead in Boerne and New Braunfels, and Shannon Roberta San Antonio, Instagram influencer and expert question asker for the radio show.
That was a great prayer, Todd.
Thank you. She has a tiny Jesus for those of you who are just listening on the radio. It's a good reminder that he's always there.
Yes, it is. I was thinking the same thing.
So we have somebody on the line that's going to ask a question, and this is the legacy segment, but I'll just start by defining legacy. I think this is from the Oxford Dictionary, says an amount of money or property left to someone in a will, like an inheritance, or the long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, etc., that took place in the past or of a person's life. So, Jeremy, given those two definitions, can you think of something that a family heirloom that you received or that you want to pass on, or some more intangible legacy, a life lesson that you learned from somebody that went before you? But before you answer, we have Mike live on the air. Mike, how's it going?
Very interesting show today. And I had a question for your guest. Is his service available in San Antonio?
That's a good answer, right?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Thanks for calling, Mike. Yes, it is. There are a lot of different agencies. There is a Homestead agency here in San Antonio specifically. So Homestead is a franchise, and so we don't cross boundaries. So I have four counties out of New Braunfels that we help, and then we have 3 out of Boerne that we serve. I will say though, we have a contract with the Veterans Administration through the VA. And we do go into Bexar County to serve veterans. I'm a veteran. It's very important to me that we serve veterans. This is Military City, USA. We have a lot of people that come through basic training with the Air Force, leave, and then they come back and retire. So we have about 58,000 veterans over the age of 65 in Bexar County alone. So there's a pretty high need, and most people don't even know that home care is something that the VA pays for. So
And the franchise in San Antonio doesn't have that ability? They
do not have a contract with the VA, so we step into that gap.
Okay.
And we come into Bexar County to serve.
Does that help?
My second it does. May I ask one other question?
Sure.
When should a home care provider like yourselves be contacted in terms of someone who has been almost diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but can still function to some extent? And then is there a lot of prep time that needs to be done, or do you wait until the person doesn't recognize the spouse? And what is the situation?
That's a question. Man, that's such a great question, Mike. And there's no one right answer. I have to be honest. You know, the saddest part I think that we have to deal with sometimes is when people wait too long. You know, the number one way that we see people that come to us and they're desperate is if it's after a fall. Whether they have a memory issue or not, falls are incredibly challenging and difficult. So I would say if you can, I would say contact us at Homestead and have a conversation early so that we can come up with a plan. We have client care. We have a client care manager and a client care coordinator in each office, and their role is to sit down with families, do a consultation, see what the needs are, and see if there's an alignment there or not, and care is needed. And we're going to give you an honest answer and say, look, you're not ready yet, but here are some things that you can do to prepare to maintain independence as long as possible. And then these are some ideas of things that you can look for, as there's a progression in the disease.
If these things happen, call us.
That's right. And this is when these things happen, that's when you really need to consider
Would there
bringing
be-
in someone.
There's a fee just for that initial?
No,
or
our consultation's free. That's such a great question. I take that for granted. When a family calls us, we go into the home and we visit with them, and we do a free consultation.
Great. Thanks, Mike, for the call.
Thank you, Mike.
I guess you're in San Antonio. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call. If you give Mark the details, I'll send you that book.
Okay.
Thanks for the call.
And I hope to hear from him what he thinks of the book. I hope he leaves a comment
Oh, that'd
on
be nice.
whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
It sounds really interesting. You were telling me about it earlier.
Right. Okay, so we have to move on to your legacy, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gave you more time to think about what
Well, I didn't
you
have
would
time to
wanna do.
think, but it's pretty simple. I don't have a lot in terms of legacy. I do have some baseball cards.
Oh, there you go. I do
I have a
as
few
well.
baseball cards that my son knows he's going to get at some point in time. I have some properties, but nothing. The most important thing to me is not anything that's tangible, and it's going to be the love that we shared of Christ with our kids, and I hope that is something that they carry with them. There's nothing more important. So,
Was there an opportunity when you were a coach? Did you get to share some of your faith, or was that frowned
yes,
upon?
yeah. So great question. It's different from state school to private school. My last coaching stop was at St. Edward's, which of course is Catholic. I'm not Catholic, however. There's obviously the shared love of Christ.
Right. We still got Jesus.
That's it. So we were able to do a daily devotion with the team where it started with me on day one. Before practices or games, whoever was next had to bring in a devotion of some type. And whether they did it with the Bible or without the Bible, we asked for something that was inspirational. And most everybody would use the Bible and have a verse or a couple verses. But I would start it, and then my assistant coaches would go, and then we would start with seniors and go down. And it's challenging for guys to speak in front of their peers, right? So it was a great opportunity to be able to do that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing
Yes, thank
your
you.
legacy. How about all the people that you serve? I mean, through your caregivers and the care receivers. I mean, if somebody took care of my granddad and did a great job and made sure that he never fell down, I would really have a lot of love for that person, that caregiver.
We become family. It's a very special, it's a gift of what we get to do and how we serve people at their most vulnerable times. And families recognize that. It's, as you know, you deal with elder law, it's extremely challenging. All the things that are wrapped up in the aging process, right? From finances to emotions to all that stuff wrapped up. And we get to step into those really challenging situations, and what a tremendous opportunity that is. It's a real gift.
So Shannon had a question about, we have Bert on the line. Awesome. Welcome to the show, Bert. You're live on the air.
Hey, Todd, how are you doing? And thank y'all, and bless y'all. This was a very great show, like Mike said.
Bless you too, Bert.
I just wanted to get the number because I was a United States Army Airborne Infantry Ranger, and I've had many falls and head injuries, and I'm needing care.
Bert, I'd love to be able to help you. Am I able to give a
Yes,
number on the air?
I should have given you that opportunity
No,
already.
it's great. Bert, you're in San Antonio?
Yes, and I'm moving right now, so I'm having a bunch of problems. That's all I can say.
So tell me, are you closer to the west side of San Antonio or east side?
Well, I'm moving to the northeast side towards Schertz.
Okay.
I'm moving towards Comanche Lookout Park.
Perfect. So I'm going to give you that's closest to our New Braunfels location. So I'm going to give you that number. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's 830 624
624
8380.
8380.
And you call that number and you tell them you spoke to me on the air, and that and we'll be able to walk you through the process.
Forever memorialized in history.
Hey, look, and like I said, I have no problem with anybody of any faith. except I might have a couple of good Muslim friends, but I really don't like people telling me that if you don't agree with me, we're going to kill you.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. Thanks for your question and your
Thank you.
call,
Thank you, Bert.
All right, y'all. Have a great week.
You
Talk
too.
to you later.
All right.
Okay, so another thing that I thought of is Shannon and I share a love for our parents and our grandparents, people that came before us and left us a lot of lessons. What's a lesson that has been reoccurring in your family that you learned from somebody older than you that you keep teaching to your kids?
Man, that's a great question.
That's a nice one, huh? Well, what did you draw on when you were a coach? I'm just fascinated with this coaching thing because I watched that show with that Lasco guy.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Oh, Lasso. I'm sorry.
That's right.
You know,
Coaching is really underestimated. Like, it is a real
I
calling.
was telling Jeremy on the phone that the best thing it did for my son Thomas was to teach him how to manage his emotions.
Right.
you know, I think the number one thing that I can think about, and I think about this all the time. No matter where I'm at, I'm trying to leave things better than when I find it. Mm-hmm. If I walk into a room, and I tell this to my employees, if I get out of my car and I'm walking into the building and I see something in the parking lot, I want to pick it up. Mm-hmm. I want to leave it better than I find it. And when I leave for the day, if the trash needs to be taken out, I'm going to take the trash out because it needs to be done, and not waiting for somebody else to do it because that's not my responsibility, right? I hope that I set a good example to my employees and the people that I'm around that, you know, we need to step into those gaps and fill them.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
This is a pleasure. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I appreciate the opportunity.
I
really
bet
do.
the coaching experience really helps him select good employees. Like, he has a
Right.
good. You're good at reading people, I would imagine.
I do the best that I can.
As any human can, right?
Right.
Certainly not perfect.
Well, I want to say something about elder law. A lot of people don't know what kind of care that they want until I ask them. You know, the thought never came to mind. Some people say, I want to stay home no matter what. Some people say, I want to move to the nicest retirement community in town. Some people say, I don't want to be a burden to my kids. Some people say they want to move in with their kids. And some people say they want to save the most money. They don't care how they're taken care of. They want to leave the largest inheritance they can for their beneficiaries.
How interesting.
And so if your attorney doesn't ask you that question, you should call Marquardt Law Firm at 210-530-4278, where we can help you with the Take Care Of clause, and we can help you with the Advanced Elder Plan. We have to go.
That was
We'll
fun.
talk to
So
you
much.
later.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the 10 Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.